Hello everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going over to Bitcoin. We've got a CoinsKid crew. So we're looking at the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. We've got 3 years appreciation, 1 year depreciation. So theoretically, this cycle should be coming to an end with a new cycle beginning in 2023 and beyond. So theoretically, from 2023, the start to the end, we should see Bitcoin in the green. If we don't, then pay attention to that, write in your notebook, because it could indicate that Bitcoin's in trouble. So it's just a little reminder going forward. It is a long way off, but at the minute I can't be ultra bearish until I start to see certain things in the charts here for Bitcoin. Okay, obviously there is a massive level of support here for Bitcoin at the moment. I'm going to go through this with you. There are a lot of doomsayers and fearmongers out there that are saying Bitcoin is on its way to 3k and things like that, but I don't think it's an easy journey to get there. Okay, and I'll see one analyst saying we're going to be at 6k by January. I just don't see, I could be completely wrong, I just don't see how we're going to fall through such a key level of support, which I'm going to show you in the charts in a moment, to get there. Because this is how it all works. It's all about support and resistance, like I said to you. The same on the way up. If we would have broken that 69 high, we would be on our way to 100k. But we never got there, did we? Because that's what happens. If you don't break resistance, you don't get there. And it's all about resistance and support. You lose support, you're going to get to support targets below. You break resistance, you're going to be in price discovery, and you're up there taking off into space. Okay, so at the minute, we have to pay attention to cycle theory. We've got 4-year cycle, 3 years appreciation, 1 year depreciation. So theoretically, this depreciation should be coming to an end, and we should be looking at appreciation 2023 and beyond. Okay, and it's just going to be a really fruitful time for the CoinsKid community going forward. So let's take a look at the charts right here for Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, this indicator is called a VPVR. It's, volume profile. I've gone through this with you before. You can go to indicators and search for VPVR. Drop it into your charts. It's a free indicator. Just here, you can clearly see, without looking at price action, okay, you can clearly see where the large volume of action is for Bitcoin, where it's been traded the most. And you can see on the way down, look at that thin air up there. Look at that. So effectively, in time, if we ever get up there, it's just going to break out. This is why, theoretically, the VPVR just melted. The Bitcoin price, melted through the 20k high, because theoretically you should have found that as strong resistance and done something like this and then broke it, but you didn't. You sort of coiled up, boom, and you took off, because there was no resistance there. Okay, because it sort of tapped it and came back down. So I would expect the same at 69k, because you can look at the very thin volume profile up there, that if this thing does to take off, there'll be a little resistance up there, obviously, but primarily I would expect it to push through it, because this is how it all works. So when you look at the charts on the way up, you can see pockets of resistance. So a lot of resistance is sitting around about the 38k mark. Look at that level just there, okay, on the VPVR. But on the way down, you can clearly see where the largest clusters of volume is. Now these represent support for me and resistance. So immediately looking up, we can see that the next leg, this is where the price action is at the moment. Okay, you can clearly see where the next leg of resistance, if you was to go up, is, and it's this cluster here, which is around about the 20k mark, psychological level, which is this previous resistance just there, which in time I think will be a key area of resistance, that if we break through it, it's going to be a very bullish statement. But that's a different story. Okay, so massive level of resistance, which in time I do think will be back tested as resistance. Okay, but again, not got a crystal ball. So anyway, we're looking to the downside, we're looking where the support is. You can clearly see that this big pocket here of support between this high and this low, all the way down here, and you can clearly see that this is this range here, which was resistance in 2018, resistance in 2019, and resistance in 2020. Okay, so you got that leg of resistance just there, but you can clearly see, just like the 20k that we melted through on the way up, we never back tested this leg of resistance just there. Okay, but we've come back down to this leg of support just there and back tested it. Do you see that? So we melted through that and come back to it, and I think that what we've done, we've melted through this here, and this could be the end journey that Bitcoin's looking for, where we do have some kind of last shakeout in the markets here. Could be completely wrong, obviously. To invalidate this scenario that I'm looking at, we just need to come up and break through this resistance. Breaking that, I don't think we'll see that. Okay, but I'm just looking and showing you why, the reason we could see that. I know a lot of people saying the bottom is in and things like that. I wish I could tell you it was, but I can't until I see certain things in the chart. Primarily breaking above a 10 EMA on the monthly is one thing. Like I said to you, that's a really powerful statement from wherever you've come from. Okay, wait for that. If you're not looking to enter Bitcoin at the moment, or you're not looking to catch a fall in life like myself, you could just wait for that scenario to play out, because historically that shows us, just that's a confirmation statement right there within itself. Okay, but again, that's a different story. So we're identifying support, so you can clearly see here people saying we're going to come all the way down here to 6k, 5k, 3k by January and things like that. Well, you can clearly see we came down to this support here and bounced for months before dropping. So theoretically, if we was to come down to here over the next month or so, we're gonna bounce there. We're gonna hold it because look at all that support just there for Bitcoin. So I don't necessarily think we're going to pierce through that as a lot of people anticipate. So it's all about support and resistance. Just there, this is a massive level of support for me that was previous resistance. So I just don't think we're just going to push through it and melt through it like a lot of people anticipate right there. Okay, so if you are looking to catch a bid and the markets do melt down, then just come to your charts, put some bids in down on this level, round about, what is that, round about 12k, and just pray basically for a big bounce, get the big boy bounce, and then we're sort of adhering to the cycles here for Bitcoin. We get the last shake out of this year, we get the big drop in December, and then 2023 and beyond is fruitful, and you bought the bottom basically, you know. So I wish everyone the utmost luck. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to do. It's all about support and resistance, but I know in the future, if we do come down here, okay, if we do come down here and we get the bounce and start to come back up, this 20k here is going to be amazing resistance that once broken, that in itself could be a confirmation statement that the bull is back on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that quick little update today. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Thank you for support. Bye bye.